The late stages of a bear market is the trickiest. It will drag even the bearish of bears into thinking the bear market is over. And just before you know it, stocks will have their capitulation moment and mark the final low in the stock market. Guys, in the past week, I've seen the bearish of bears turn bullish and go all in long in the stock market. Why? Because it feels like nothing can bring this market down. It feels like no matter what news is out there, no matter how bad the news is out there, the market will just keep going higher and higher and higher. And this is just the attitude that the market makers need just before they pull down the trigger and crash the stock market. Guys, in today's video, we're going to discuss both the bearish and the bullish scenarios for the stock market from a technical and from a fundamental analysis point of view. Guys, we have a crucial week ahead of us with some very crucial and very important news announcements that are due to come out this week that we need to pay attention to. And we also have the biggest companies in the world reporting the results. If bears are to take control of the market, they will have to do it this week. If they don't do it this week, guys, the bulls will have officially won the fight, and all-time highs is definitely a strong possibility. Guys, we're going to discuss the what's in store next now that we've finally broken out of this trend line that we've had over the past year. We had some strong resistance here, we've broken out of it, we retested, and now what's in store next, guys? We have some very important things that we have to show you in today's video. We've got some information of what the insiders on Wall Street are doing, guys, so we will be sharing this with you in today's video. Make sure you watch until the end, guys. And as always, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We do bring out the latest stock market analysis every single Monday morning. And if you do enjoy today's video, guys, please give it a like. It does help us a lot. And also share it with anyone else that will also find it useful. Now, before I go into the charts, guys, I just wanted to show you this chart here of what the insiders have been doing over the last couple of weeks. Now, this is a chart here, okay, that shows you what the insiders on Wall Street have been doing over the past couple of rallies that we've had in the stock market in the S&P 500. Now, a reading here that is less than 12 is bullish, and anything that's above 20 is bearish for the stock market. What does that mean? It means that every single time we've had a rally, the insiders on Wall Street, they've used this rally to open to either close their long positions or go short or the S&P 500. Now you can see here, guys, on this rally that we've had, that we are having at the moment, the insiders are doing what? They are selling. And this is at a record high. They haven't done that. Okay, they've done it in August when we had the big rally in August. They've used that to sell into, and they are doing the same, but even more than that, even higher than that, guys. Okay, so this is a worrying sign. Even though the stock market is going higher, the price is going higher, the insiders are selling. And if I show you this as well, guys, this is a chart showing you the put to call ratio and how much it costs to add protection in the stock market. Now, can you see, guys, as it stands now, to buy puts, okay, to buy puts in the S&P 500, it's at its lowest it's been in a long time, even lower than we had in the rally in August. What does that mean? It means that now no one is buying protection, no one is buying puts. Why? Because everyone is so confident that the stock market is going to go higher that they said, you know, they're buying calls, they're not buying puts. They say we don't need puts, okay, because we know the stock market is going higher. Well, and that's the biggest mistake. So now is the time to add protection when it's at its cheapest. And when everyone is buying calls, expecting the price to go higher, the opposite tends to happen. And why does everyone have that sort of mentality that we are, the Fed is going to capitulate, they're going to slash, they're going to cut their interest rates because they perceive inflation to be going down. But is inflation really going down, guys? I'm going to show you this in a second. Yeah, I'm going to show you inflation, okay, in other countries over the past week. So we've had inflation in the US for the month of December. But what about after December? Because in December, fair enough, okay, we've had inflation cooling off. But what are other countries doing? Well, guys, let me show you this because I think it's very, very important. And this is an argument why I think that inflation has not backed off and why I believe the inflation will be coming back and will be stickier than initially thought, which means that what? It means that the Fed has to keep interest rates higher for longer. And if they do capitulate now and inflation comes back and goes higher, then that's when they will be making the biggest mistake. So guys, this is one of the arguments why I think the Fed has to keep at it for longer, okay, and why I think that will have a big impact on the stock market. Now guys, I'm going to show you this in a second. So here we have the CPI in New Zealand last week, and you can see it came up a lot higher than expected here. They were expecting it to go down, but guess what? Okay, so over the last couple of months it was coming lower, and what a surprise, it now went higher, okay, last week. Also in Australia, okay, CPI last week higher than expected, a lot higher than expected. Guess what? Looks like inflation is coming back. And this morning, guys, a shocker, okay, no one was expecting this. This morning we've got what? Inflation out of Spain. Look at this, 5.8 versus 4.9. Inflation in Europe is coming back. What's stopping this to happen in the US? Nothing, guys. Okay, so I believe that the Fed knows this and they have to keep at it with high interest rates and carry on increasing interest rates. People are not realizing, how big of a deal this is, guys. So if inflation does come as a surprise next month, then that will be the catalyst out of all to completely crash the stock market. Now, what else can crash the stock market this week? Well, guys, we have some very important economic news starting on Wednesday with the FOMC meeting. So the FOMC meeting will conclude on Wednesday, and that's when we have our conference at 7 p.m. UK time on Wednesday. Pay very, very close attention to these guys. Now, the prediction is that they will raise interest rates by 0.25, so 25 basis points. If they come out and they raise interest rates by 50 basis points, now that will cause an immediate reaction to the downside if that happens. Now, that's not the forecast, but anything can happen until Wednesday, guys. Okay, so if they do come up on Wednesday, raise by 50 basis points, the stock market will see that as negative. Also, watch the language of Jerome Powell. Does he come up as being very hawkish? Does he come up and reiterates the message that, listen, the stock market, the financial conditions have eased a lot. This is not good. If this keeps happening, they are going to keep interest rates higher for longer. If he does says that, if he just focuses on the point that the easing of financial conditions, the stock market going higher, he sees that as negative, and if he mentions that, then again the stock market will go lower. So watch his language, guys. If he comes back and says, listen, I'm very happy with everything that's going on, I think we'll stop at the next meeting, I think that's it, I think inflation is going down. If he does says that, okay, then that's it, okay, all-time highs, no questions about that. Okay, so very important two things. Interest rates, okay, I don't think there will be a surprise there, and then the way he speaks about the economy and what's been happening over the last month or so in the stock market and in the economy. Next, after that, guys, we have on Thursday, we have more meetings of central bank. We have the central bank here in the UK meeting, and we have that in Europe. So pay close attention to that as well. And then we have the NFP on Friday, the non-farm payrolls, guys. Very important to also pay attention to this. So this week is action-packed, full of economic data, guys. Make sure you pay attention to this. This is going to most likely dictate the way the stock market will be heading over the next couple of weeks, guys. Also, guys, we have earnings, and we have the biggest companies reporting their earnings. Now, on Wednesday, we have, after the close, we have Meta reporting, and then on Thursday, after the close, we have Amazon, Apple, and Alphabet, Google reporting. And this is going to be it. If those three companies here, guys, they disappoint, okay, so imagine we have a really negative Wednesday, okay. Jerome Powell comes in, he talks the market down, we have a crash. And then on Thursday, the biggest companies, okay, they disappoint in earnings, and not just disappoint, but they come up with the guidance, with a very disappointing guidance of what they expect over the next year or so. Then that would be the cherry on top, and that's it. We may even get new lows this week if that happens. Okay, so pay attention to that, guys. It's going to be very, very important. On the opposite, we may get a very dovish Jerome Powell, which doesn't really care about the easing of financial conditions. He says he's happy with inflation being where it is. And then we have those three companies reporting very good results, and that's it, all-time highs. So those are the two possibilities, guys. Make sure you pay attention to this, because they're going to be very, very important. Now, let's go over to the charts and have a look at the technicals for the charts here for the stock market. If we start off by looking at the S&P 500, what are we expecting here? Now, guys, as I previously mentioned, we've had the trend line here, so we have some strong resistance here. This was finally broken last week. We had a successful retest, and now we're going higher. Now, what are we expecting in terms of where of price to go? There's two possibilities, guys. Now, what I'm planning here and what I'm expecting, okay, and we've mentioned this also in the Discord community. If you're not part of the Discord community, guys, make sure you go over to our website, mcitradingacademy.co.uk, and request your free access. Now, there's two things that I'm looking at, guys. First of all, we've got plenty of liquidity resting above this area here, okay, that the market makers may want to grab before we go lower here. Now, above this liquidity here, guys, we have a 4-hour IC sitting right there. So if this was to happen this week, guys, this is at around 4,180 or so. Now, below this, we have the upper expected move for the week. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the market rallying, okay, to start off the week, coming to here, 4,170, 4,180 or so, clear the liquidity, and into the 4-hour IC, and just above the upper expected move for the week. Now, this would be a perfect opportunity to go short, and you can go the odds of market not crashing as it gets here, okay, will be very slim, okay, especially if we have this is prior to the FOMC, okay, on Wednesday. Now, guys, one thing that I want to show you here, okay, is that we have a gap here. We have a gap here that was never filled. So don't be surprised, okay, over the next couple of weeks, okay, if we do get some dovish Jerome Powell and also some good earning results, for the price to rally and try to fill this gap here. If I go over to the 4-hour time frame here, guys, you can see it clearly here. You can clearly see this gap was never filled. So this is just above the 4-hour IC here. So don't be surprised for price to come into the 4-hour IC, inch higher, just to fill the gap and then crash from here, okay, or just have a downside move from there. Now, when do I go full bearish on the stock market? When do we do that? Okay, well, first of all, let me just start off with the 1 week time frame here. And here, guys, we've had our break of structure just about, but that has happened. As you can see here, we finally had that break of structure, which means that we are bullish overall. We are bullish for a small macro, micro and macro time frame. Overall, everything is calling us everything is bullish on the stock market now, on the S&P 500 here now. That can be a fake break of structure, so don't put too much weight on that. Okay, but what do we expect here? Well, we are above the 20 and the 50 EMA here. For me to go back to being bullish, to being bearish, full bearish in the S&P 500 here, guys, I need to see a close below 3,900, friends. I need to see a daily close below 3,900. If I see that here, then I would be expecting for price to go at least and retest the lows here that we've had back in October, with the overall target of 3,460 or so, the 1 week IC. Here is where I will be looking to accumulate long-term long positions if we do get there. Okay, so pay attention to that, guys. It's going to be interesting over this week especially. Next, we get the UK 100 here, guys, and this is just this has been literally, if you look at the higher time frame here, the weekly time frame, we've had this resistance here and the liquidity being cleared here. We had that here. We had a successful test, and now it looks like it wants to go higher here and clear all the liquidity that is being resting above there, and perhaps go to all-time highs. We are very, very close to clear the liquidity and to all-time highs. So unless something happens this way, guys, then I will expect that to happen. Okay, we did get our sell signal. Now, guys, remember this. Okay, a sell signal does not mean a crash. It can also mean a consolidation, and this is pretty much what's happening here. We are consolidating within that 1 day IC. So as long as we are able to hold above this and hold the 20 EMA, then there's nothing to say that we are going lower here. So be very, very careful on this. If we're able to break the daily IC here and break the EMA here, the 20 EMA, then we can target this as a short position here, as a short target of 7,500, this daily IC in here. As it stands, this looks very, very bullish, guys. Okay, so be very careful. Next, we get the DAX here, and guys, we've mentioned this last week, and we've mentioned how we had previous support turn into resistance, and how we had the doji the previous week, and we were expecting that last week would be the decisive candlestick here to show us the direction. But guess what? We got another doji, so you can see how much indecision there is, guys, right at this level here. So what are we waiting for? We're waiting for a candlestick to show us either to close below here or above here, just to show us the overall direction of where the DAX wants to go. As it stands, I favor the shorts unless we're able to close above this area. If you're able to close above here, then I will expect price to go into this weekly IC. Okay, as it stands, the price is not showing us that, so still favor the shorts for now. In terms of the daily picture here, guys, what I want to see here, I want to see us, okay, we've got a sell signal just about here, so we're working that. I want to see a close below here. And to be honest, guys, if we have to look at here, 4-hour time frame here, we've just been in a consolidation over the last couple of weeks, so not a lot has happened. If we do see a break and a close below this liquidity zone here, I would expect price, okay, I would like to see a daily close below that and also below the 20 EMA. Okay, if we do get that, then I expect price to go a lot lower. So something, if you're able to break these, guys, I expect price to go into this daily IC where we'll find some support also from the 50 EMA here. So that will be a nice opportunity to perhaps go long at that point, but this will be the first take profit target if we are able to break the 20 EMA here and have a candlestick close below it. Okay, so watch out for that, guys, this week perhaps. Next we get the Dow here, the US 30. Now here, guys, remember what we've been discussing over the last couple of weeks. In order to turn full bearish on here, I want to see a candlestick closing below the 20 and the 50 EMA. So far we are just consolidating. We've been just consolidating here over the last couple of weeks with no clear direction. Most likely this week will dictate whether the US 30 goes higher or it breaks down lower from here. Now, one thing that I'm seeing here, well, there's a number of things I'm seeing here, guys. So first of all, looks like we have head and shoulders here. Okay, so it looks like we have a head and shoulders, and if we are to measure this take profit here zone here, then this takes out lower all the way down here to this daily IC as take profit. Okay, so that would be perfect. We managed to see a close below the neckline here, guys. Obviously we cannot go above the right shoulder. If we go above the right shoulder, then the move is completely invalidated. So that's one thing that I'm watching. The second thing that I'm watching, guys, okay, so you can see here what we've been doing over the last couple of weeks. We've been consolidating here. We have liquidity resting above, liquidity resting below. Now we do have a narrowing channel here on the 4-hour time frame, guys. We're stuck between the two ICs here, and we are in a narrowing channel here. So let's see, where do we break? Do we break above or do we break below? So pay attention to these, guys. Also, if we are to look at the 1-hour time frame, now what do we have here? Well, let's look at actually last week. So last week we had plenty of liquidity resting here. The market goes down, clears the liquidity, and then we have a massive move higher. Now we have plenty of liquidity resting below here, guys. Plenty of, this is a perfect, this is just a perfect, it's very clean here. So pay attention what happens if we do come lower and clear the liquidity. Are we going to have the same scenarios where we go lower, clear that, and then we go all the way higher? Okay, so pay attention to that. If we are not able to go above that, then watch what happens. Obviously, look at the 4-hour time frame here, see if we can break the narrowing channel, and if we do, then I will be expecting something like this to happen. Break, come back and retest, and then go to lower low, to a new low, and that would perhaps coincide with the daily time frame of the head and shoulders as well. So we'll have two sort of confirmations to go short at that point. And if we do go higher, then expect the same thing: break, retest, and then go higher, guys. So pay attention to that over the coming week or so. Next, we get the US 100, the NASDAQ here, and here the same situation, guys. We've had a break of structure here. We're back a break of structure, and where did we stop? Right at the 50 EMA here, guys. That's clear resistance now. So we are stuck between the 20, the 50, and the 20 EMA here. Okay. What do we expect to next? We need to see a break below or above that. Okay, candlestick close below to confirm that this break is indeed a true break. What will confirm that? The news that we have this week and the companies that report is crucial. Now, what do we have here, guys? If we do keep going higher, what this is daily IC, so we have this IPA here to be filled, this daily IC here, and there's plenty of liquidity also resting above. Now we do have liquidity resting above here that has just been grabbed. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a pullback now that we cleared that liquidity. But if we do go higher, then this is the level that I'm watching here, guys, around 12,620 or so. And if we do go more into this daily IC here, then we've got that the 4-hour IC sitting right above here with the liquidity here. Also, for a break lower, guys, monitor this trend line here. Okay, monitor this trend line. If you see a break of this trend line, then that would confirm the break lower. Okay, and then we've got some liquidity zones here to be grabbed, and we also have this 4-hour IC as an initial target if we do break lower. So pay close attention to that over this week. Next, guys, we get the VIX here. Now, guys, something very interesting here. So the last time, okay, so we are in 80s now, 18s, sorry, 18s. The last time we've been so low in the VIX was obviously at the beginning of January, but the last time we've been here was in December of January of 2022. Okay, so at the beginning of last year. Now, at the beginning of last year, guys, the S&P was trading at around 4,700. Was at around what was close to its all-time highs, okay, and was close to the high of the year. Now we are trading exactly the same here, okay, 17, 18. Where will that be a possible top for the S&P 500? Just to suggest to us that, listen, this is the top for the year, and our volatility will start to increase, taking the S&P lower. Now, this will be a decisive week for the VIX as well. If we are to go lower in the stock market, and if we are going to go higher on the VIX here, it has to happen this week. So pay attention to that, guys. You can see already people are getting a bit nervous, and we've opened with quite a large gap here so far. So pay attention to that. Are we going to fill this gap, or are we just going to go straight higher? If we go straight higher, monitor the 25 level, guys. Monitor this level. Can we make it above and stay above 25? Because if we are, then most likely we go to that capitulation of 35.40 in the VIX. Next, guys, we get the DXY here, and guys, the DXY has done nothing over the last couple of weeks. Okay, now we've got liquidity resting just below this area here and right into this daily IC. So I still see price potentially coming to this daily IC here before moving higher, but if it's not able to go there, guys, I want to see a clear move above this trend line here. Okay, and if we do get that, then that would be the moment to say that DXY is back, and then I will put more pressure on the stock market. But for now, there's nothing literally going on. Most likely, as I've mentioned before, this week will be the decisive week here. Next, guys, we get gold here, and guys, this was a perfect trade. Now, we've been discussing over the last couple of weeks how we've had this daily IC in here where we like price to go. So when price was down here, we are hoping for price to go, clear the liquidity, and come into this daily IC. So we'll completely smash this trade. Now, what's next? And guys, look how perfect it is. Just look at this line. Price came in perfectly right into the body of the one-day IC, consolidated here, and then moved lower. Okay, what do we have here? We also have perhaps a head and shoulders here that is ready to break. So as it stands now, this trade should be running risk-free. Okay, we've had a nice move lower. The stop loss should be at 0 here, and up down we go. And in terms of take profits, guys, I'm looking at this level here to take some profits. Okay, and then with a target of perhaps this daily IC here. If price wants to go lower, obviously I don't think it will go as low as this liquidity zone here. I will have to monitor price and see what happens. Also monitor the dollar over the next couple of weeks and see what it wants to do as well. Next, guys, we've got Bitcoin here, and guess what? Bitcoin is back. Well, is it or is it not? Now, one thing here, guys, I mean, yes, we've had a nice move here. Why? Because also the stock market has had a move higher, especially the NASDAQ. It's more correlated with the NASDAQ. Now, the NASDAQ had a nice move higher, and it's been one of the strongest out of the indices so far in January. Now, can you see one thing? Can you see that even though we've been going higher, the price has been going higher, the momentum has actually been going lower. Okay, so even though we've been grinding higher here with not a lot of momentum, which means that the big boys are not participating in this as of yet. We are about to perhaps get also a sell signal. Okay, so pay attention to that as well if we get a sell signal, and also pay attention to the NASDAQ, guys. If the NASDAQ goes lower, it will bring Bitcoin with it for what? One move lower. We've been discussing about that 12K 12.5 K target. Make it there. Okay, there's plenty of liquidity now resting below here, so I wouldn't be surprised if the price to come there. Also, we have, as you can see here, resistance from the 200 and from the 50 EMA. Okay, so plenty of resistance ahead. Now, it doesn't mean that it cannot go higher. It's just from a technical point of view, it doesn't make sense for it to go a lot higher before it has a substantial pullback. Now, we need to see where that pullback will be. We like that 12.5. Okay, but first target will be this liquidity zone here, sitting at around 15,200 or so. If price does make it all the way here, we need to reconsider and see what price wants to do at that point. In terms of higher targets, if it does want to go higher, what do we target? This daily IC. So say if price carries on going higher, well, this is the target here, 29.30K. Okay, well, if we don't have a pullback before this target, here we'll definitely have a pullback. Okay, most probably as price gets there. So monitor this, guys. It's going to be a crucial week for the stock market, so be very, very careful. Now, that's it from me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you are new to trading or would like to learn more about the strategy that we use, go over to our website, mcitradingacademy.co.uk, where you can find out more about the mentoring courses, the one-to-one mentoring courses that we offer, and you can also join our free Discord community. Thank you very much, guys, and I hope you have a great trading week.